come to the hospital. We'll give you a small amount to take the pain away, but it comes with counseling. You're going to get off this.
Yeah.
You know?
I do
Yeah.
agree that,
And
like I
if
said,
they
it's mostly a
refuse to
mental
do
health
it,
issue.
then
I
they
agree.
don't get it then. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really big in mental health because it's a coping mechanism that they've only
They can't
known.
deal with being raped or daddy beating them or whatever. Like I said, there's a big trauma
Well,
that happens
that's
as
how
a
it
kid or
started.
something, and they just can't get over it.
Yeah, that's how it started. That's how it starts.
Yeah, that's
But
how it
then you
starts,
become
yes.
an addict.
And then you become
You know?
physically addicted
Yeah.
or mentally. I mean, I totally get
An
all that stuff.
addict.
Like I said, I watched
Yeah.
my sister go through. Like I said, for her, it was just any drug. It wasn't age. Like I always tell people, like is she in this? I'm like, no, she's into everything. Like for a while, there was ecstasy. For a while, it was
Yeah.
meth. For a while, it was heroin. For a while, it was coke. For a while, it was
Yeah.
you know, like, but in the end, it was all about something that happened, and she can't fucking get over it. You know, like mentally, you know, it's a mental thing.
Yeah.
Like, if she can get over that hurdle,
Yeah.
then I bet it'd still be hard because it's physically addicted to get off it and shit. But I mean, like, it's the coping mechanism. Like I said, like for people, they feel sad, mad, whatever the feeling is, and they numb themselves with the drugs instead of doing it for fun or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the issue. You got to figure out how to
It's
get people to
delightful.
help cope with themselves, whatever the issue is.
Yeah. And it's hard,
It's definitely
It's
hard.
much easier to build. It's much easier to raise a kid to be a strong adult than it is to repair a broken adult. You know, that's where you ideally there will be a society where people never thought to do addictive drugs. Why would I do that? You start off with whole kids. When a kid is young, they're whole, and life is what fucks them up, right? So the better thing is to make sure that life doesn't fuck kids up, so they grow up into fully functioning adults, because that is easier than fixing a fucked up adult. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a break, guys. I gotta go have a cigarette. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Got you, brother.
All right, take your shit.
Okay.
Fucking Valkyrie.
Is that disrespectful for me to say take your shit? Sometimes I don't know.
What? You're good.
You never know people's fucking interpretation. I used to say like what's up, bitch, to my brother, and he just one day was like, don't say that to me. Like, dude, I'm not. Like, there's different.
He was having a
ways of
bad
taking
day,
this
bro.
shit. Well, no, it's not that. He was like, you always approach me like, what's up, bitch? It's annoying. It's.
Yeah.
He found it disrespectful. That's what it is.
I mean, I guess.
Fuck yeah, Fable.
I suppose, like, if it's your brother and stuff, you've been doing it forever. How would you not know that it's just how you talk to him?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like I said, I get like talking to Joe Blow down the road. I go, "Hey, what's up,
getting,
like I don't know you."
Yeah, I know, but it's breaking barriers. That's how you establish familiarity, or like whatever.
I hate this summoner.
I can't smoke weed anymore.
Oh,
That sucks.
why?
Job.
It's just too much. It takes too much out of my memory. I've smoked for maybe 15 years now, and yeah, I just
Fair
can't.
enough.
I can't take it anymore.
No, just a foggy brain, just all that shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to do philosophy and live as a philosopher, and also study psychology, and also get a degree. And it's just,
Yeah, you need
it's
your wits
heavy.
about you on that.
For sure.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a sacrifice because it does help me with creativity. I wrote some of my best music and my best writing in general,
Of course, that
books and
makes total
whatnot, when
sense.
I've been high.
Yeah.
So you get this. I say, oh, we want to talk about addictions, right? And I go, hold on, I gotta go have a cigarette. Yeah.
But that's legal, right?
Right.
That's what we're talking about. Like we know we
Yeah.
allow.
Yeah.
That's my whole point. Like there's so many horrible things we allow. Like
If I could go back in time and change one thing, I would go back to when I was. If I can go back in time and change one thing, I go back to when I was 16 years old. First cigarette, I'd peer out of nowhere, and I hold herself, and I go. You know?
Yeah.
and then I disappear. One thing I could do in my life, you know?
hmm
Yeah. See, when I started smoking, I was 16. I'm 51, right? When I was 16, everybody smoked, and nobody questioned it. You
That
know?
was much more
Yep.
socially acceptable.
McDonald's had ashtrays. Yeah,
Smoking
McDonald's had
around the
Think
ashtrays.
about it. Think
Yeah.
about it. Think about it on airplanes where you're fucking enclosed like 20 feet of
Oh,
room.
yeah.
You know, like
Yeah, people used to smoke.
yeah. I'm just saying,
People
like yeah,
smoked.
it was
Yeah.
socially acceptable, like to everybody. It didn't matter who you were, how
Yeah.
you know.
It was normal, and nobody connected the act of smoking with the health problems. They just didn't connect it. Doctors were going around being paid off to tell you these are the best ones for you.
Yeah.
You know, in the 1950s and stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
Yeah, so it was a different world. The world was naive in that way, and it's wiser today. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sad
some of that was narrative change. Apparently the movement that or political movement that reduced dramatically the use of cigarettes was it was anti-propaganda. So, or it was kind of reverse propaganda. So there were commercials and ads being put out depicting the tobacco companies as basically screwing over their customers, overcharging, and what was it? Philip Morris was in lieu with or was in
Yeah,
cooperation with Kraft Foods, and
so they were
there
agitating.
and that like that's what motivated people to stop. It wasn't like
Yeah.
the Surgeon General was warning. It was the fact that people are being screwed over by the man, basically the companies.
I recall when it was going on here, the big thing I recall was restaurant workers because there was no smoking sections. Well, there was a smoking section, but it doesn't matter. You know, it was just a label. But it was the restaurant workers, people who never smoked their entire life, were coming down with lung cancer in significant numbers, right? So they went to the courts and they got all public inside public spaces. They banned smoking. You cannot smoke inside a public space here, inside, right? So it took societal change, and it took people fighting for it. It started with the restaurant workers, is what I remember. And like I said, it was because they were getting lung cancer. They never smoked in their life, and they were wrong. So they went to the courts. The courts, found it in their favor, and it changed society because now you can no longer smoke inside in a public space. So the restaurant workers are protected. We got societal change, which improved things, and it's gradually becoming more and more socially unacceptable to smoke. When you buy a pack of cigarettes here now, 80%, it's required by law that 80% of package, it shows a horrible picture, and every pack has a different horrible picture on it, and everyone says this
It will kill you.
smoking. Yeah.
Right.
Or emphysema or whatever.
We
You know?
We don't need to be talked down to by the
Yeah, but it's like Patrick was saying, it's this kind of agenda. They have to push it. They have to actively change people's opinions. And you can't do it all at once. So they're doing it. So they're doing it gradual time by more and more restrictions.
Money so they don't have to fucking.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, I roll my cigarettes, but like no.
Okay. How much does a pack of smokes there cost? How much does a pack of smokes?
It's not a fucking
choice.
It's a.
Okay. A pack of smokes costs $10 to $15, sir.
Why do people smoke? What?
A pack of smokes here costs
$11 here.
A legal pack of smokes here costs about $21.
Yeah, that's absurd. That's
and it's a 20 pack, 20 cigarettes.
They farm people with it.
Yeah,
and they keep people in a fucking.
So you're basically paying a dollar a cigarette right now, right? And the government has always announced price.
Nobody's, there's
you want to hear the reason?
Here though, there's a thing. There's a fucking refusal to fucking take a fucking, rope.
Yeah, they're right. Okay, because everybody agrees our government is right. Here, you want to know why? Okay, so our government is right. Right now we're at $1 a cigarette, and they've always been announced it's going to keep raising the prices forever until you're broke. And there's a reason for that. The reason is, consider where you are in America, right? Your healthcare is private, right?
Oh, yeah,
if you go to an insurance company, and say, I'd like to get health questions, right? If you say yes, you're fucked, right? But here in Canada, our healthcare isn't private. It's socialized, it's public, right? So no matter what happens in Canada, they're going to treat you. And if you come down with lung cancer, they're going to spend millions of dollars on you to try and save your life because we have socialized health care with conditions, right? So they're going to try to save you. And it's going to cost millions of dollars, and your chances of being dead the first year after diagnosis. So it's futile, but they're going to try anyway, and they're going to try you, you know? But here's the thing. Where we have socialized health care, who pays for that? Everybody does, through our taxes, right? So so it's not fair for the people who don't smoke to be paying millions of dollars for every single cancer patient who comes down who smoked, right?
But
So
is it effective policy? Is it effective policy?
So in our government has said, well, it's not fair, and we can't just say to the cancer patient, oh, you're not getting treatment, because our healthcare is universal. Get it no matter what. Period. Right? So the only thing they can do is say all these smokers, they're dragging down the health system. They're causing all these millions and billions of dollars worth of costs. Yeah. And we're going to tax it because we're going to get rid of this. Yeah, we're going to get rid of it. Yeah, so our government's decision is our government's decision is they're not going to tolerate smoking. There's no toleration here. They're getting rid of it. You know, within 20, 30 years, it's going to be gone. And the fact is, because of fairness. Is that
going to be down to the economic aspect, or is it going to be down to better conditioning such that
it's a matter of fairness?
On tobacco, or tobacco just falls out of fashion. Tobacco's just not in the
I hope so.
Life world of these people, right?
Yeah, but it comes down to fairness, right? It's not fair.
It's a fucking shackle. It's a fucking weight on people that don't need a weight. People that need the fucking money to go elsewhere. People that fucking feel like they had some degree of flexibility or whatever in their.
And remember I was talking about Hell's Angels earlier? They switched to selling black market cigarettes because they're cheaper, but they don't make much money on them because they're cheaper. Well, guess what? I smoke black market cigarettes. They cost me $6 a pack.
Nice.
You know? Yeah. And they come in full cartons. They're all wrapped. They're packs. You know?
Call them that?
Yeah. When Hell's Angels first switched over to them, they used to have a plastic bag, 200 cigarettes, right? But now they have full packaging. They're in cartons, individual packs. You know, the cellophane foil. So they're improving their operation. But the thing is, weed used to make them a lot of money. Cigarettes only make them a little money. You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
What was I thinking? Somebody probably knows what they're thinking.
I was just looking up how much Canada versus America for GDP of healthcare, and Canada is better though. They 12% of your GDP goes towards healthcare, and ours is up to 17% of our GDP goes.
Yeah, and yours is private insurance mostly. And yours is private insurance.
Yep. Yeah, no, I was just looking up little facts, and what was the other thing I saw?
Yeah. I remember healthcare is universal.
We spend 13,500 per person, and you guys spend about 8,500 per person. So it's about $5,000 cheaper per person.
Yeah,
that's massive.
Yeah, and remember, you get quality care, right? So a lot of problems are prevented before they become big problems because you're always having care along the way. In the U.S., you might not go to a doctor for a problem until it's like serious. You know, so we spend less. So we spend less per person, but it's preventative care as well.
The numbers paint a picture. You know, it's quite clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
because everybody has universal health care. People don't get as seriously sick because conditions are nipped in the bud.
Yeah,
so we are spending less. We are spending less, but that's a kind of rationale for it.
Yeah, it's 27% of Americans in 2023 weren't able to get the health care that they needed because of these factors. Either they couldn't afford it or they put it off because they were afraid that they wouldn't be able to afford it.
Yeah. That's sad.
Well, I mean, it's a joke.
And
like I said,
is universal
that's what Breaking Bad's literally about.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. The guy gets cancer, he can't afford his medical bills.
Yep.
Dude.
I'm just saying, like, it's literally the
and remember we said
show.
I remember we said the other night. Remember we were talking the other night, and we were saying that in America, right? You are forced to see your job no matter how. In Canada, they're not coupled that way. Your healthcare is universal. So if you have a shitty job, you can say fuck you, go get a better job, and it's not going to hurt you. We have universal healthcare. It's independent of your employment. You know?
Yep.
Right.
Like I said, we have the ACA, but
Yeah,
we're getting rid of that. So
Yeah, because all the rednecks were yelling, "Oh, yay, we got rid of Obamacare! I'm
Yep.
so happy I'm on the ACA."
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
yay, we got rid of
And he is
Obamacare.
Obama's bad,
Yeah.
right?
That's another funny thing.
Affordable's good.
Yeah.
Obama's
All
bad.
Democrats are bad.
Yeah,
All
I
Democrats
know.
are bad.
It's stupid. I know.
Yeah.
But again, that's how. Like I said, people can't actually like Google anything for. Like I said, if people could read for 5 minutes a day, just a little bit, man, they'd be so
Yeah.
much better off.
They really would.
Yeah.
Not
Dude,
gonna lie.
literally, if you encounter a word you don't know, Google it, and then
Yep.
like over time, like a
It becomes a
finite
word you
amount
know.
of fucking time, fucking
Yeah,
most of
learn
what's
it and
written,
use it
you can
the
understand.
That's the whole
entire day.
point. That's what I do when I
Yeah.
learn like stupid science facts and shit. And I always tell people, or if I read a book and stuff, like, and I read a chapter, I'll come to the bar and stuff and start telling people about it. And people are like, I don't give a
Like,
fuck. I'm
oh,
like,
did you know
you
this?
think I'm doing this? I
What?
can tell them, like, you think I'm doing this for you? No, I'm doing this so it helps me remember. Like, I hope you learn because I'm
Yep.
trying to
Yeah.
tell you so you learn. But the
Exactly.
more I tell you about it, the more it's imprinted in my brain that I know this fact now about
Dude.
science or the chapter
Free
I read or
flow of
whatever the fuck it
fucking
is, like.
information, no matter how fucking dumb it is, just fucking let it out and let it settle itself.
Well, yeah, man. Like, think
That's
about
it.
like when you're studying for school, you read stuff and you didn't talk about it, right? So like you remembered
Yeah.
it for the test. Once the test is over, you forgot
Yeah.
about it. So like it's different than, like I said, now if you read something and now you talk about it, for like a month straight. Well, I bet now you know a lot
Yep.
more about that topic.
I mean, like if you're not
Yeah.
saying shit, you're gonna be thinking it anyways. So it's like improve or augment like the process through like mixing it in without.
The big advantage school has, though, is that when an idea is impressed on your mind, you about it, and that's important because talking to other
But
people,
the kids are
other
better,
people
right back.
consider things you didn't, right? And talking to people gives you practice. You're developing your ideas. You're explaining it to someone,
Yep.
and then they'll explain their message, right?
There's-
So that's the advantage of school, is you're in a peer group and you can help each other develop the ideas in your own mind as you understand them. When you're
guess-
by yourself, you're in an echo
Language,
chamber and you might not consider things.
entry point into cognitive space. I don't know. Is it the surface? Dude, I like that fucking infinite descent toward object fucking concept. Like you never quite reach like imminence or whatever with the object, but you always approach it. Dude, I love that like this infinite approach toward mathematical perfection within one's progressions of awareness
Yeah.
or whatever, right? Like, dude, I feel like that's
So-
the fucking bounds of reality.
Plato said the ultimate form of the ultimate expression of reality was forms, right? And forms are
Yep.
ideal representation.
I'm basically a
It's like
Platonist now, dude. Like, I'm like, dude, this shit's discovered. It's like fucking
yeah.
Terraria caverns that you fucking mine into, and
See-
they're already there,
Yeah.
like-
Yeah, the form is the
Yeah.
ideal. The form is the ideal, and everything is an real is
yeah.
right.
But
And then
nothing
like
can be ideal. Nothing
like,
in our world can be eternal truth.
now
Like,
now get
state
this.
or character of eternal truth. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of simple. Like when you line it up, like it's a.
So get this. Has anybody here looked into programming? Has anybody here looked into programming?
I want to what? No, I mean not like you. Like I tried like a demo for Unity, I think.
Because in programming, there's something called object-oriented programming, right?
Mhm.
And in that, there's something called a class. And the class is your perfect definition. And then from that class, you instantiate actual specific object. So that is kind of look, if you squint your eyes, look at it sideways,
Yeah.
see kind of a connection between Plato's forms and object-oriented
Yeah.
programming, in that they both have
Yeah.
the perfect form, which from that is used as a mold to create actual.
Oh, dude, I want like a good, clean, like unfolding, like language from like some center fucking omna thing. And you know what? I think consciousness is that center omna thing, dude. Like we are just the maximal dual fucking contradictory, like not a contradictory resolving machine. Like it's just there's something so nitty gritty, dude. Like
Patrick just shared it. Patrick just shared a meme.
Dialectics and it's fucking nuts.
Patrick just shared a meme in
But
the
he
share
does a lot of
chat.
shit, dude.
You see a chair? Okay, what is a chair?
This
You know? What is the essence of a chair?
Yes.
What is the perfect form of a chair? You know?
Yeah. Well, that's a functional. It's a functional concept, right? Like,
In a sense.
yeah.
Keep
depends on
going.
It's like utility based, yeah.
Yeah.
What's There's a tertiary definition. That was a term. Based upon its relation to other things, or yeah.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like relevance realization. That's another concept from John Vervaeke. Like the human brain, since we invented chairs, kind of gravitates towards realizing the relevance of the chair, and the most relevant aspect of the chair is its sittability. It's your
Okay,
ability
yeah.
to sit in the thing.
Based upon your structure, dude. Just all these relative, intrinsic, temporary conditions or whatever. Like there's a lot of properties you can bring up, a lot of categories.
Hold on a second, I'm getting a meme too to put in there. Let me find a good one. Oh, I think I know.
I had a
A
concept.
chair is a
Here we go.
Okay, and a
There's
concept come
legs.
to mind earlier
Ooh.
of like a scene theory of like imagine just like an image. Okay, how do you define the relations between identifiable features within that image, right? Like how do we
Yeah, I just shot.
to knowing about these features? So like this could be like a template, like a fucking ultimately defined theory of all fucking
I shared the meme in the chat.
pieces of
This is not a pipe. It's not.
or whatever.
It's not. It is not a pipe.
It's not a
It's
pipe.
an image. It's an image.
Image, yeah. So yeah, map territory and yep.
This is not a pipe.
Dude.
It is not. Yeah.
I'm just half talking on my ass or whatever. In a sense.
I mean, it's also a piece of wood with a hole in it, and it's also a container for tobacco.
It is none of those things. It is little squares of light. It's not a pipe.
Or it's digital information that's being contained in an internet medium that's been transmitted over the wave.
It's going up one level of. It is going from the direct. It is going from the thing that is to a. Yeah, this is not a pipe. It's what. Yeah, this is not a pipe. It's one level of meta. You are taking a real thing and you are creating an image of it. So you have the real thing. One level up is representation about that thing, but it is not the thing itself.
Yeah. Yep.
So this is not a pipe. Is one level of meta from reality.
Yep.
It's the pipe is real, but this is not the pipe. It is an image of the pipe. It is a representation. It is not an actual pipe. It's meta.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
It's represented.
Yeah, represented. Yeah.
A simulacrum is like a fucking.
Yeah, simula and simulacrum.
Yeah, dude, like that's one I'm just like.
That's also simula and simulacrum is also about how eventually the representation is totally disconnected from reality. Like this is not a pipe.
Now is currently a simulacrum of the ship of Theseus.
Yeah, this is not
warp back into a ship.
Yeah,
like through a fucking projection on the sky of a ship, and then it has to determine, what is a ship, and fucking rebuild
What's a battle?
What? Rebuttal?
What's a battle?
Oh, what's a battle? Conflict. Inflict physical pain out of factional. I don't know. It depends on how you. Yeah.
Anything. I mean,
battle.
like
Mario Kart.
What about
Mario
inner
Kart.
battles?
Just
You have inner battles. You fight your demons, right,
just-
inside you. So I mean, like, it's not necessarily you have to people.
Paddle battle. You fucking get blisters on
battle.
your palm on fucking Mario Party.
Yep.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Count back to 5 minutes. I need to go smoke some dope.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, brother.
Okay, so do about 5 minutes, you guys.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Okay.
He's on the dope. He's on the dope.
You know you're older when you call weed dope, honestly.
There's irony, and stuff like that.
Because
ways to
anytime I hear
approach
dope, I
language.
always think of heroin addicts. So I'm always like, "Hey man, don't call me a dope addict."
Yeah.
Right.
I'm a dope knight.
I'm dope night.
I'm a dope farmer.
I grow weed in the summertime.
Ooh, I'm calling the feds.
I need to grow it. I need to.
You don't have to. Yeah, it's
I'm
legal.
a fool for being
I guess
so
not
lazy.
feds.
Oh,
The feds.
yeah.
I know.
The feds.
I
I
know.
guess
not
the feds can
feds.
come in.
I'm too much of a degenerate to expand my degeneracy.
Oh no.
Really? How do you figure?
I-
How do you
I don't know.
figure?
I sit here and languish at a computer instead of
Language
Oh,
on your
myself.
computer.
here, that's when I've got to
Yep.
quit. Forgot about that.
I can't quit you. They did like a female Brokeback Mountain concept. I forgot who the fuck it was. In this meme, I was like, "Yeah, make it happen."
Mm,
I forgot about Fable.
Oh, dude, I never played Fable.
Yeah, I'm playing it right now.
Dude, watch you. Wasn't there one where it was like a multiplayer one?
Yeah, that was 3.
Yeah, and like there was a dungeon master or whatever, or like an evil guy that was supposed to send his forces.
Oh, yeah, there was supposed to be one that had 4v1, but it never came out. No, it was trash in mid-production.
That's too specific. Like, you're trying to innovate on the League of Legends concept, but
No, it's 4v1, like Dead
well,
by
I mean,
Daylight.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean. Kind of.
Or Evolution.
Oh, what is this? Dude, oh yeah, dude, this looks dope.
I've beaten this so many times on the Xbox.
Dude, I've just been so into AI art and shit, so when I see this, I'm like,
Yo, you should check out some of Brian Wise's material. He's in my Discord server too, and the Polymath podcast we had last week.
Dude, he seems kind
He's
of
very
like,
talented.
yeah, dude, I would love to.
Yeah, his check out his Facebook page. It's just Brian Wise. It's spelled I think BRYAN.
Wait, who's the Asian guy? Tell him not to get mad at me if he hears this ever.
That's Z. Well, his real name's Z. He goes by what is it? Metastasis.
Metastasis. Yes, that's what it is. Yes, I had to use you to fucking use my brain. But yeah, good shit.
Yeah, he's very intelligent.
Yeah, dude.
He's super, very wise as well.
As a psychology
Yeah, like
guy,
listening to him talk, and I'm like, I could see this guy on like the History Channel or some shit, like or Discovery Channel when I was a kid.
as a psychology guy, what do you think
totally.
the number one thing that we should work on as a society?
You too.
Man, that's a great question.
Because like I said, to me, I think that's what we need to work on is how to get psychologically like on people's levels and hopefully get them more on the side of right things than wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's man, I don't know that it could be one thing. I mean, maybe the one thing is to take a multidisciplinary approach to encourage nuance and critical thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, I really think it comes down to education. Like that's probably one major factor, at least.
I agree.
We have to have psychology training in pre-K and like all the way K through 12 in college. It has to be required to learn about cognitive dissonance, to learn about how your brain basically works, how most brains tend to work, and how to use them to your advantage. But of course, the people in power don't want to have that because we want to have trained cogs in the machine. Once people graduate, that's basically what we're training them to be, is to adhere to the bell. We have the bell system in school, and just sit at a desk all day. And then this transitions people into having desk jobs or just being obedient and subservient. So I don't see a federal mandate being put into action to require that anytime soon.
No, I don't either. But I
So
do
we
agree
shouldn't
that
give
we should
up.
work on we study like bodies and like your muscles and stuff as a kid and stuff. Like I don't know why we don't study the brain and stuff like that more often, because
Yeah,
that is a big muscle, and it's like the most important thing about you. So yeah, that makes total sense.
it's very simple to like present. Like I don't know. I'm sure there's some good educators out there that I've never heard of. So I would hope.
I mean, I plan to do public talks. That's another option. You can
Try to
do
like
assemblies and school
I was
assemblies.
thinking about doing like some kind of like town square thing, you know, like how like Steven Crowder had that, you know, change my mind shit, but like just put a sign up somewhere in the middle of a city, you know, and be like, hey man, let's chat about this, you know, and see if we can get people
Argue about
conversing.
anything.
Mythology.
Basically, it will just be
But,
like,
like,
you know, like, do you actually use, like,
Ah.
are you a critical thinker? You know, like, ask something like that. Like, do you think you're a critical thinker? You know, and see if people actually, like, you see if people's, like, when you ask them certain little questions, see how their brain actually functions to see if, you know, if they are critically thinking or not, or try to help them see the light of how they are thinking is flawed or working right or whatever, you know?
But, so there's like something of a pragmatic like wave though, like when it comes to like mental health concepts and like
Fucking goddamn
say
stomachs.
terms like generational trauma. Like that's such a good like
Mhm.
capture within like 2 words. You know, like people hear that and they're like, okay, how does that happen? You know, like I didn't force this on myself. Like it has determinism built into it.
Yeah.
That's tricky. Yeah, generational trauma, man. That's very controversial. There's a lot of memes that are being shared in social media land concerning this idea that trauma is stored in your DNA over time. So if your grandparents were traumatized, you're more likely to have high glucocorticoid production or whatever. And that's very misleading and very much not true at all as well. Now you can have it from a more psychological perspective where your grandparents were mean and verbally abusive to your parents, and then your parents psychologically pick that habit up from them, and then they try to transmit that to you.
Anger
But that's not
transference.
your DNA. Like that's not in your DNA. That's psychological, and that
Yep.
means that you can do something about it.
For sure. See, like I use the thought process of like there's like black people still alive right now that were didn't have rights, you know, Jim Crow era shit, you know. So these people, you know, grew up dealing with all this shit. So then when they had kids, well, do you think they trusted anybody, and vice versa? Do you think the kids of white people back then trusted them? You know, they both started talking shit and doing all this shit, and that's why we have so much conflict, even nowadays. You know, like it's from all the years of parents teaching shit, talking shit about these people, you know, 3-4 generations, and it's hard for people to get out of it. And I think like
Yeah.
schooling and things like that are the best ways to get out of it, because you're around other people that you see like, oh, not all these people are like this, because I know dude over here in my class, he's awesome, you know.
Right. That's real generational trauma. Like that's passing down bad habits over time.
Yep. Yeah, I'm saying that I think that's more that than it's imprinted like in your DNA or whatever. Like some people say that, and there's probably some true, but I think it's more like that, where it's your parents or grandparents pass that negative connotation on you.
Right. And the genetic aspect of it, there are genetic dispositions in many conditions.
Hmm.
And even if that were 100% true that you could psychosomatize over time, your DNA could be transmitted over time like that. The overall message still there should be confidence and resilience and emotional awareness, self-awareness, mindfulness practices. Do everything in your power to not become a victim to that. But once you start talking like that, you get labeled as an ableist or a victim blamer or a gaslighter. And that's kind of where we are with the culture wars phenomenon right now. That's the kind of stuff that,
Right now,
that
yeah.
Jordan Peterson is maxing out on. And it's causing a big problem because you do get canceled, you get kicked out of universities it's man, it's so sad, and this is a big mission of my own. I'm not trying to like
No, you're good.
promote my channel or promote my
can do
Discord
that.
or
Go
whatever,
for
but
it
this
all.
is. I mean, that's what I'm focusing on
community.
mostly right now because I'm trying to navigate that landscape with clarity and nuance, and I don't see other people really trying to
Grassroots,
do that.
dude.
It's usually like
Grassroots.
falling
Yep.
into.
Grassroots
Yeah.
philosophy. Or
I
something.
just shared a meme.
What is it? We got like a minute.
I got lost.
Balrog.
I got lost. See butter safe?
Oh shit!
See butter
My
safe?
brain is not containing things.
I'm not a clever man.
I'm not a
Dude,
Anyway,
not being clever is a way of life.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
Dude,
See, I'm not smart. I'm experienced.
who like improves their intelligence or attempts to or pretends to without
But get this, Brandon.
permission to be a fucking idiot, you know? Like
Brandon, this is important. Get this. I'm not smart. I'm experienced, and there's a difference. There's a difference.
Yeah, like
I'm 51. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I believe you're
Yeah,
smart
man,
in something.
Einstein said that
Everybody's
it-
smart in something. Everyone has their like natural.
Yeah,
talent.
everybody
That's
is.
not
You're
true.
right.
It's like
Yes, you're
something
right.
could be like
Relative
a
to
dude
where we
puzzles
need
for
to
all you
be
know.
for
Like, but
fucking
you have a gift at it
retards,
or something.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a quote from Einstein. And, it is not that I am so smart. It is just that I stay with the problem for longer.
Yeah. That's the resolve.
I love the other one. He says like
Very
when they had the
simple
100
premise.
authors against Einstein, he's like, if they were right, they would just have one. Like it's all it would take. You don't need 100
Yeah.
things. Like if you were really right, you just need
Right.
one thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
The math is what it is. You know.
Yep.
And that can't help the Allies win World War II, right? Because Einstein developed, and of course Einstein was Jewish, right? So the Nazis came to power in Germany, and they were like, "What? Einstein is relativity? He's a Jew. Can't be worth anything." So they went after quantum. They wanted 0 phasers, right? But that didn't pan out. But while they were going after phasers, 0 energy in Canada. The Allies took relativity, so it was kind of lucky in a way. It was fate. Germany did not pursue relativity when they could have, and instead went after something that didn't pan out. Phasers don't exist yet, 0 energy beam,
Yeah.
0 point.
Wait, what constitutes 0 point energy?
I'm now about coming out of my recollection. I'd have to Google.
That's so weird.
Yeah. I'd have to Google. That's what's coming out of my recollection. The Nazis disregarded Einstein because he was Jewish, and to their detriment, which is good, because they were Nazis,
Because they're stupid.
Yeah, they were Nazis, Yeah.
Today we call.
Yeah, we had to learn that lesson.
Now we call them white
I don't know.
nationalists.
Yep.
I don't know. Yeah.
Basically the same goddamn thing.
History doesn't repeat itself. History doesn't repeat itself. Sure does rhyme.
Right.
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, Mark Twain said that.
Like
Mark Twain, American, Samuel Clemens.
Dude,
Yeah.
Mark Twain is the fucking man.
Yeah, Samuel Clemens, Mark Twain said that. History doesn't repeat itself, but it sure does rhyme.
You know what I'm gonna say? The guy that portrayed him in fucking Star Trek. That guy was.
Oh yeah, spot on.
Dude, because like I like vibe with that shit, dude. He's
Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking
behind the corner, and I'm fucking observing because I'm a piece of shit, but I don't know.
Remember Star Trek has Stephen Brandon, remember Star Trek has Stephen Hawking on it?
Guinan,
Yeah, remember Star Trek has Stephen Hawking on it?
I think so.
Stephen Hawking. Yeah, and that's a good episode. Well, someone typed in his computer, but
Yep.
Yeah, poor Stephen Hawking. Poor guy's gone.
Yeah,
But Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking Stephen Hawking for all his brilliance, he was kind of twisted away. And you see, Stephen Hawking spent his entire life basically trapped in a body. His body became a
Right,
prison.
yeah.
He couldn't move. Right.